As you know, I love bringing in guests and discussing about whatever with them here on Tatiana Time. Today I brought in a very special guest who I'll be interviewing and discussing about because you'll be finding out later on here on this very episode. Enjoy! There we go. Hey guys, welcome back. It's your host here, TATIANATHYME. Welcome back to another episode for upcoming artists. Today I'm here with
Chloe Jones, also DJ Chloe J.
Yes, DJ Chloe. So I'm so glad to have you on. It's actually the first time we'll be interviewing a DJ. So I'm excited to hear what you do and everything.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much for having me. This is my first time being on a podcast, I think, as a DJ at least. So I am flattered. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be having this conversation. I think it's just great for artists to hear from other artists and kind of like just get a chance to tell their story. So I'm so grateful for you having me on.
Of course, yes. Of course, it's so important to give again many artists, different platforms to literally like share their work and talk about their work. So we're definitely gonna go ahead and dive into what you do. So, how did your start in DJing begin? Like, what was your DJ background? Any influences? Explain your artistry.
So I started DJing officially, I'd say, about 2 years ago. I was interning at Atlantic Records the summer of 2022, I believe. Excuse me, sorry. And I had met a mentor. Her name's Valencia. Shout out to her that I just kind of took a liking to, and she kind of opened my eyes to the world of DJing because she was a DJ on the side herself. And
Mhm.
I grew up singing. I grew up in the church, in musical theater. I went to theater camp. I was in all my school musicals until I graduated. So performing has always been something that I was interested in. But when I decided to go to NYU, I told myself I wanted to kind of explore the business aspect of music. So that's when I started interning at record labels. And I had been at 300 Entertainment and I worked as the program assistant for my major, which is music business. And I just feel like I was kind of losing that artist side of myself and I wanted it back, but I didn't necessarily want to be on a stage singing. And I've always loved music. I was always the friend that was on aux in the car, giving song recommendations. I was dance team captain and helped to pick and organize our music. So I've always kind of, I felt, been a DJ without officially doing it. So once I heard that, I bought myself my first set of boards off Amazon. If anyone wants to know, I had a DDJ 300 or 400. It's like a super basic board. And I just started learning. I was really bad, obviously, at the beginning. Like, I didn't know any of the technicalities, but I had the software. And then, spring 2023, I studied abroad, so they like to call it, in LA, and you were had the ability to get assigned a mentor, and I asked for a creative mentor. I felt like my resume was great, I had connections, my networking was really amazing, but I wanted to hone in on that skill. So they paired me with a DJ. Shout out Rugby. He was also a really big part of my journey as a DJ. And he kind of
Mhm.
taught me everything I know in terms of technicality and the basics. And I left LA knowing what I was doing. And I just kept practicing, practicing, practicing. And then I secured my first gig like a couple weeks after. And it's been that since there. Kind of started off pretty slow. Now I'm getting into a groove where I have 1 to 2 gigs a month. But at first, I was going like months and not doing anything, which is totally normal. And I think helped me kind of build up my confidence. But yeah, that was pretty much my start. And now I'm here 2 years in, hoping to make this full time, God willing.
Yes. And also, when it comes to DJing, is there a genre of music you usually play? Like, is it experimental? Is it like genre blending of any sorts of genres?
I have no genre at all. I actually tell people in the nicest way. I never understand that question because at least for me, like I know there's EDM DJs and there's things like that, like people that are assigned like or have a niche. But for
Hmm.
me, I love the fact that I will play anything. Like you'll hear me play dembo, you'll hear me play soca, you'll hear me play Afro beats, you'll hear me play R&B, you'll hear me play hip hop. One of my favorite things is actually to like blend across genres like you'd never expect. Like at my last gig, I think I mixed Flo Milli with drift or some craziness. Like I just love to experiment. So I think that's my biggest thing. Like not really locking myself into a genre has helped me kind of expand and differentiate myself from other DJs. So I definitely say it's eclectic and a multitude of pretty much every genre.
Mm. And speaking of gigs, do you maybe want to go into, I guess, like the process, like when it comes to preparing, creating a set?
Yeah, so this has honestly been a long time coming for me. At first, I would get a gig and be practicing for days on end. And when I tell you days on end, like I would take off work, I would stay at home, I would miss plans to prepare my set and make sure it was perfect. Like I had cue marks for when I wanted to go to the next song. Like I was never winging it. But as I've started DJing more, I have built up my library, which is really big. Like the more songs you have, I feel the better DJ you are because you have the space to kind of jump around. So my biggest thing was developing my library, and now I don't prepare my sets unless it's something like super duper important, if that makes sense. And important isn't the word because I feel like every set is important. But say if I'm working with a brand and they want me to do like a certain type of music or it has to be all clean, I'll prepare that. But if I'm in the club or doing a party now, I just wing it. And of course, like you play some of the same songs so you kind of know what you like, but I think that the best thing as a DJ is to get to a point where you can just play. Because for me, it would honestly cause me stress, like to set up my set list and think about, like, oh, I missed that transition. It didn't go the way I wanted. But, like, that's kind of the beauty of DJing. It's supposed to be natural and all just come together. And I think the more experienced you are, the better you are at kind of just doing it on the fly. So I'm definitely trying to get to a point to where, like, I have a flawless set unplanned. And I definitely do think I'm getting there. But in terms of beginner DJs, I definitely say preparing your set is not a knock at all. People to this day still prepare their sets. Some of the biggest DJs have prepared sets, but it's definitely kind of just a learning curve of just seeing how the equipment feels to you, what songs blend, how the beats match up, and figuring that out.
Mm. Sorry, I received a call and it like kind of messed up the audio. Like you kind of went in and out. Um, but I heard most of what you said. Just the last part, if you want to repeat that, I'm so sorry.
No, no problem. I think that the biggest thing like about being a really skilled DJ is being able to mix on the fly. So I
Mm.
definitely would never knock a beginner DJ for having that planned set. I support it, actually practice whatever makes you feel confident. But as I develop, I've loved the ability to be able to just kind of be free and not have this stress of feeling like, oh, dang, I have a gig tomorrow. Let me make sure I have my set list set up and all that. Rather than like, oh, I have a gig tomorrow. Can't wait to see like what my vibe is and what the crowd's feeling and to like how I want to pivot, sort of.
Mm. And when you say like, when it comes to feeling free, especially like doing a set, is that like the type of story you want to tell through DJing? I don't know if that's like a weird question.
No, not at all, actually. I think the story I want to tell through DJing would be the love of music. I would hope that people leave my set like, dang, that girl listens to a lot of
Mm.
music. I do. Like my biggest thing as I said is like that mix and being able to do anything. So I definitely hope people leave my sets feeling happy and feeling like they love music. Like I don't want to see wallflowers. Like I love when people are vibing during my sets and just having a good time. I bring my friends typically like I roll with the same couple of girls and every single time I do a set they're like screaming freaking out at like what I did next or they're like, "Oh my god, I'm in love with this song." Like that's my favorite thing to hear because I think that's how I feel. Like I love music, so I hope the love of music is kind of told through my sets. And then yeah, also just like being free, being yourself. I would definitely say authenticity and love for music is what I'm trying to portray.
Mm. And is that also another type of impact you want to leave when it comes to DJing too? Or is it like something different?
Sorry, one more time. You kind of cut out for a sec.
I'm sorry. There you go. Yeah, is there also maybe another type of impact you want to leave when it comes to DJing aside from, letting people know that like you love music and want to keep it authentic?
Um, I would definitely say inclusivity. I think that as I've grown in the DJ world, I don't see as many girls as I'd like. Like, I'll see parties with 5 different DJs and they're all men. So, I definitely want to create a space where girls feel like they can dominate and headline and do sets with just girls because that's definitely something I face. Like, the music industry is a male dominated industry in general. But as I become a DJ, I see it even more so. And it's not even that the women lack talent. I just think kind of people aren't used to it. Like girls are supposed to be pretty and like at the party dancing and all of that, but women bring the vibe. Like I always think girl DJs are the best because we know what the girls want to hear, and that's usually who brings the party. So I would definitely say that aside from that, I want to promote inclusivity in that space and in the world in general. Like I've always tried to be an advocate for underrepresented people, and I definitely hope that I can use DJing as a tool to do that. And once I build a larger platform for myself, like raise awareness for all sorts of things aside from music.
Yes, I love that. I've actually been seeing like a lot of female DJs on the come up. One DJ
Hmm.
I do like admire is DJ Uncle Waffle. She does a piano, but I've seen her like, and like I think also with Charlie XCX also getting into DJ as well and like getting back into like I guess that party girl kind of like era or vibe.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love, love, love Uncle Waffles. And I kind of admire her as well because of her like energy, like her outfits. I know this is so crazy. Her outfits are so fire. And I love when she comes behind the booth and dances. Like that's one of my biggest things. Cause like I said, I was a dancer performer when I was younger. So at the end of the day, I don't want to put on a show, but like I want to be part of the vibe too. Like I at my first set, I literally let a song play out to the end and just danced in the crowd. So yeah, I definitely admire DJ Waffles. And I didn't know Charlie XCX was getting into DJing. That's very cool. I see a lot of like that shift of like artists trying to be DJs, and I definitely think that's like a cool avenue.
Mm. And do you maybe also want to explain if you have taken like I guess any classes on DJing or music in general or like, how has it been expanding your skills and like what have you been learning about yourself when it comes to DJing?
Yeah, I definitely underestimated music theory in college. Like that was the bane of my existence and oral comprehension all 4 years. But now that I'm out, I actually find myself wanting to analyze music on a deeper level, especially being a DJ. My mentor Rugby actually told me how he's like, "Do you play music and listen to music?" I'm like, "I mean, I'm a music business major, so I do study theory." He's like, "Oh, so this will be so easy for you." And he actually never lied because a lot of DJing is about knowing beats. If you can do an 8 count, you can DJ because the main part is bringing in the song at the right time. So if you don't kind of have that ear for knowing like, okay, this is the time that the beat switches or the inflection, that's the key to DJing. So I would definitely say music theory has helped me out so much in that aspect. And I think that once I start DJing more and maybe even like funnel that into producing, it'll come even more naturally, being that I had that training.
Mm. And do you maybe want to go behind like any events that you've done recently or in the past and like I guess like what was the process behind that event?
Yeah, I'll actually talk about two. So, the first one I'll talk about is this gig that I did for Converse, their Black History Month campaign. The city is our canvas. My friend Denise, shout out Denise. actually put me on for the gig because she was the photographer for the campaign, and they had a private party at the Converse in Soho. Mind you, this was my biggest gig ever, and not biggest in terms of audience, but um probably that too. It was private, so like it aired on the side of like one of my largest parties, but it was a limited guest list. But I think that the intimate setting was something that I love. And now I'm kind of shifting away from the club. I'm obviously going to forever be a club DJ because I just think that's what DJing is, like providing entertainment for parties. But I love the idea of working privately with brands and helping to create experiences. So, in terms of that gig coming about, Denise actually fully set it up. She just inquired with me about my rates, my hours, like how long I'm willing to do. And she pretty much kept it low key until she was able to tell me what actually happened and that I had secured a gig with Converse. And once that happened, I was just talking to the event coordinator in terms of timing that I should get there and sound, which that's a really big thing that I've learned as a DJ. You have to understand the sound equipment, not only your turntables and your computer, but like setting up to speakers and troubleshooting that sort of stuff. Because at the beginning, I was such a girl DJ. All I knew how to do was press play on my boards. Like I didn't have my own speakers. I didn't even know how to plug them in. If the sound wasn't coming out, I couldn't help you if you couldn't help me. So I definitely think that's a huge thing for DJs to take note of, like either having your own sound equipment or knowing how to work it and knowing what tools and wires you need. That's definitely something that I've had to learn, like just by doing that. There's going to come times where they don't have the wire that plugs into your board, so you should bring your own, or they don't have the adapter that could connect to your computer, or it only uses USB. There's really so many different things that you kind of have to hash out before the gig that I really learned on the job. So I really appreciate being exposed to all these different sorts of jobs. And another gig that I'll just reference quickly is my most recent. I was DJing at Jade Bar in Brooklyn last Thursday, or no, it was last Wednesday. Again, actually, shout out Denise. She sent me a friend who was looking for someone to open, and I had no clue who this guy was, didn't know him from a can of paint, but he was so amazing, super nice. It was like really, really casual. Just, he said, come in, play for an hour, you get to leave after. And I was apprehensive at first about it, like not knowing who it was, like kind of not having anything official set up, like none of that. But I'm so grateful I did it because I actually used some of the oldest equipment I've ever worked on, and that's no shade. I had to manually change my beats so that they could match up. And that's something that I don't normally do. I usually either use beat sync. No, I typically always use beat sync. And with that, I like to like not necessarily promote using beat sync because you don't have the ability to blend as many songs because not everybody wants to hear a super sped up version. So if you have a song that's 100 BPM, but next song you want to play is 150, beat sync doesn't really work in that aspect. So I was really grateful to be able to use the machine where like I had to manually turn the BPM up or down so that the two songs could match and then blend them. It also didn't have any cue points. So for those who don't know, cue points are little markers that you can leave in tracks to start the track at a certain point. Those are a DJ saving grace because most songs, have an intro. So if a song has a 30-second intro, but you want to start right at the verse or the chorus, your cue point is your best friend. But here, I couldn't use my cue points for some reason. So I had to start every song from the beginning and kind of just listen through my headphones before turning up the volume at the part I wanted. So all of this again is just such great learning because like I said, you never know what equipment you're going to use, what's going to be accessible to you. So knowing how to kind of navigate anything really helps.
Sorry, for the first event that you did, sorry, you went in and out. Who was your friend again? Just a brief explanation who introduced the
Her
event to
name's
you.
Denise at the Denise Stephanie on Instagram. She's a photographer from Brooklyn, and she's really, really tapped in entertainment holistically. And she's just such a great resource and friend that I'm so privileged to call her now. She's always willing to kind of share the wealth, and that's something that I've taken from her and really admire. Just like bringing all different people together, especially young Black creatives, in order to create something larger than yourself. So I definitely take notes from her on that and have implemented it into things that I do. Like I love hitting up other DJs to be like, hey, I got this gig, do you want to open? Because no one wants to do anything on their own. Or hey, I have this party idea, do you want to kind of go and brainstorm
Mm,
together so we can throw it together, all that sort of stuff. So she's definitely taught me that, and I'm just eternally grateful to her for all the things that she's brought my way.
mm. And when it comes to DJing also, do you usually add like any visuals like VJing?
Any visuals while I'm DJing?
Yeah.
I usually don't, because I just don't have the equipment for it. Usually I'm doing like a club and they have limited stuff. But I did do a DJing competition a few weeks back that my friend Courtney put together. Shout out Courtney. Um it was sponsored by her company Blow Some More, and they had these amazing visuals on this backdrop screen, which I loved. It really added to the energy. So that's definitely something that I would want to do when I throw parties of my own.
Mm, that's cool. And like you said, um, usually like when it comes to clubs, they're just very limited with like visuals.
Yeah, in terms of like if you mean like a projector screen and stuff, they don't usually have
Yeah.
that, or if they do, it's whatever they put up for the night. Like it doesn't really change per DJ, except I recently saw at Cafe, I believe it was at Cafe, that they had a camera like recording the DJs and it was up on the screen, and I love that. I love recording myself DJing. I love seeing videos after. So I think that's such a great idea. And I would definitely also want to do that as I grow and start to DJ more like concerts and bigger parties, because the DJ's a vibe and we can't always come from behind the booth. So to see us dancing and feeling the music, I definitely think hypes up the crowd.
And speaking of like concerts, or any more events, have you done any like, oh, do you plan on doing any live performances in the future?
Oh, I definitely do, like a concert.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by live performance? Yeah. Oh, I would love to. Like, one of my DJ goals is to DJ someone's concert or be on tour or do a festival. I think that is so cool because at the end of the day, without the DJ at the concert, we will be sitting in silence. I don't know where I saw it, but it was like someone had a show and there was no opener and no DJ, and everyone was literally sitting
Ooh.
in the everyone was sitting in the audience with crickets, and I'm like, this is crazy, because the DJ sets the tone. Like, I'm a concert girly. I love going to concerts and hope to be at a few more this summer. But the biggest thing that I feel a concert has is their DJ. Like, of course, we're there for the artist, but the crowd gets hype when the DJ before the artist is good, and when they're using the mic and interacting with the crowd. That is so essential. So I would definitely love to do that. And then being a concert girly myself, like I would be honored to DJ someone's show.
Mm. And do you plan on maybe doing like any DJ collaborations, like collaborate with other DJs?
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't want to say it, but hopefully I'll have a party, if not by the end of the summer,
Mm.
beginning of the fall, with another DJ that I really love. It's a girl, that's all I'll say, and I'm hoping to put together my own party. I haven't had my own party yet. I've had my own set where I was the only DJ, like at Converse, or at Hood Style Hub, shout out Ty. I've had solo sets, but I've never had a party that I was throwing and then I happened to be the DJ. So I'm definitely looking to do that in the very, very near future. So stay tuned. That's like my most recent goal, like my not as far fetched in my head as like something like a concert might be. Like I'm hoping that that comes through within the next couple of weeks.
Yes, yes. Make sure you guys stay tuned and shout out your Instagram if you want to on here. But yeah, I can't wait to see
Yes,
that.
my yes, my Instagram is Chloe with two E's, Chloee, Jones with two S's, Joness 13. Hopefully soon I'm lit enough to change it to DJ Chloe J. But as for now, that's me, and I would love to connect. If anyone has questions, I love, love, love sharing. I know sometimes it's hard to catch me, as you can probably feel, Tatiana, on Instagram because I have to have my notifications off. Like I'll go crazy. But I love to teach and I love meeting new aspiring DJs and just other creatives. So definitely hit me up on Instagram again, Chloe Jones, two E's, two S's 13, and I'd love to chat. Also, my TikTok is the same, and I've been using that more than Instagram recently for DJing just because I love it. I love the editing feature, and like, I don't know, I'm like weird with posting videos on my Instagram, but TikTok, I post everything. So definitely catch me on there too if you want to see like more of my actual DJ footage.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Also, I'll check you out on TikTok after this, but I definitely understand. Yeah, I've also been kind of like posting some of my like art more so on TikTok than Instagram. But definitely to the next question. Um, has there any been like any like publications or like I guess like maybe articles or anything about your DJing at any events?
Have there been any publications? Not yet. I actually had a gig that I was like kind of up in the running for. Like it was like really official and you had to kind of interview for it that would have had press, but I didn't end up getting that. And I'm sharing that to say count your wins and your losses, more is always to come. But
Mhm.
I'm hoping that I can get something that I'll get a publication or things like that. Yeah, I love it. I love the media and I love making content. So that's something I'm definitely interested in.
Oh, but well, I did want to ask. I don't know if this is kind of like sidelighting from DJing, but also the Cali event that you did for NYU and their Black Student Union Club. If you want to go into that as well.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh, that was like one of my biggest like accomplishments in college because as I said, I was really really on this business kick. Like I had interned at 300 Entertainment, Atlantic Records, Artist Partner Group in Los Angeles. I worked as a program assistant, as I said. So I was just on my grind. But one of my biggest things was like, I felt like I was a background player, and I get it. I'm an intern. Like, I'm not the CEO. I really can't put too much emotion. But I told myself because this recent fall, when I did the event, was my second time being at Atlantic, that I was going to curate something. Something from the office was going to come out the office with my name on it and me being behind it. So when the Cali event kind of fell in my lap, I was ecstatic to get a little bit into that. I was interning in the Black music marketing department, and I had one of, I guess everyone was essentially my boss. And one of the managers, Callie's manager specifically, was just asking me, do you know any way that we can kind of promote Callie and NYU or just within the city? She told me that she was coming to visit and she had a show at SOBs and they just kind of wanted to get the word out there. And I was like, BSU, 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 BSU. I love NYU BSU. I was on the e-board for a year. And then after that, I was just super really close connected because my friend Leslie was the president. So when she told me that she wanted a way to bring Kelly to NYU, I was like, oh, I can make this happen. So I reached out to my friend. I'm not going to lie, NYU really did try to give us a hard time. They're super annoying. And I'm going to just be quite frank, even more so annoying for the cultural clubs about getting clearances and bringing people on campus. But we made it work. We collaborated with program board. Shout out CC. I feel like I'm always shouting people out. They really did also help us in terms of securing the space and the logistics of it all. And it was a 13-day turnaround. Like from the day I heard that she wanted the event to happen to it coming was exactly 13 days. But we actually got it booked, I'd say like 4 to 5 days before Callie was coming. We got the clearance from NYU that we could do it. So the fact that 100 people actually came and over 100 RSVP'd, I think almost 200, was mind boggling to me. And I just still kind of feel like so many things that I do like just seem not real. Like so many people come up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, you put that event together." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I did do that." But it kind of just feels like me doing me when it happened. So once we were able to get the space together, we just promoted it heavily. And then I developed some questions with Callie's manager to ask her in regards to her album. And I was honestly shocked that I was asking the questions. I didn't even expect that. I thought maybe somebody else would or one of the presidents, but I was just so happy that it worked out and felt so blessed and privileged and so happy that all the people there got to experience an event like that. Because it's like, when do you get to just see Callie on a random Thursday night and eat wings? So it was really, really full circle for me, and I'm just happy that I manifested and was able to do exactly what I said.
Yes, OMG, I give props to that because that was literally the best thing ever, like the best thing ever. Like, OMG, I'm so glad it went through and that you did that.
Thank you. I'm so glad it went through too. Thank you so much. Like NYU really does make you feel loved and appreciated and put you in the space with people that just value creativeness, and I'm so grateful for that. All of the women that I met there, of course there wasn't just girls, but those were like the people that I've had a lot of interactions with, were
Mm.
so sweet, and it was just really great to kind of connect on that level, connect with like the underclassmen and my other classmates and just see that happening. And then also to do that for Cali, because I know they kind of had like apprehension on whether or not people would pop out. And I'm like, people are going to
You're
pop
gonna,
out.
yep.
Who doesn't love Cali? And two, like, this is a dope event. Like, we got free wings. We were grubbing, listening to music, asking questions. She gave out a little bit of merch. She took pictures. Like, they really, really put together something so great to think that we had 13 days.
Wow. Wow, that is crazy. But no, you did like, oh my God. I remember it like it's yesterday, but no. I think that was like just one of the best things that happened at NYU and also for the Black Student Union as well. Just getting everybody together.
Exactly. It was actually amazing. I'm so happy in it. It was really just so cool to see that come like that.
And um couple more questions. Usually when I ask people, when I interview artists, when I ask them this question, it usually kind of stops them in their tracks. But define yourself as a DJ in one word and explain why.
Yeah, that is good. I kind of, I would say raw.
Ooh.
I feel like I'm very raw, and even sometimes my transitions be raw. Like it's just uncut and real.
Mm.
So I definitely think that that would be my word. I've s- prided myself on being authentic since I can remember. I've gone through so much, like even growing up, not having friends just because I didn't agree with the things that other people were doing or how they acted or the things they believed in. So I definitely think like I've been a raw person from the beginning. I'm super blunt. Like nothing kind of like any way that I feel, you'll know. And I think that's translated in my DJing. And then like even when I mess up, like I'll be on the mic like, oops, sorry, y'all didn't hear that, because like, things happen. And at the end of the day, it's real. Like you're live in the flesh mixing this. And I always say, like, would you rather me have a recorded mix and it be lame, or me do a bad transition and recover from it? So that would definitely be my word.
Hmm. No, I agree. I like the word you use, raw, and I definitely see that. Definitely does translate into your DJing. And also, do you have any like advice for any upcoming DJs?
Buy the equipment. Like, just do it. It doesn't even have to be expensive. And honestly, not even that. Get the platform on your computer because I've DJ'd a full set from my computer because I didn't have, like, the boards weren't reading my USB.
Mm,
So, start. It is so, I don't want to call it easy because I think that now a lot of people think, oh, DJing's an easy way to get lit. And that is not the case because if you go into it with that mentality, um, you won't be successful. But I think that the biggest thing is literally going for it. Like, buy the equipment and start. Anybody can be a DJ. Anybody with an ear can be a DJ. So I definitely think just get the equipment. Get the equipment and I wouldn't even say watch YouTube because I tried to watch them YouTube videos and that barely helped. Get the equipment and get a DJ that you feel comfortable with teaching you the ropes and do
mm,
that. Also, be willing to learn. Like, I would go into pirate studios with my friends and practice for hours or go with other DJs and literally just watch them. Like, don't feel like you're being a burden by asking, like, of course, of course, of course. If a DJ is at a gig, and they are in the middle of their set, do not go up there and try to ask them how to DJ. That's actually one of my pet peeves is when people come behind the booth. Oh, well, no, when people come behind the booth trying to ask me questions. If you're coming behind the booth to vibe, oh my gosh, I love it. I love the booth back. I love people in my space. But like, don't try to talk to DJs while they're DJing. But if you do have access to a DJ and you can literally just sit and watch them and then take the time to ask them questions after, that is the
mm,
best thing. Because I tried the whole watching YouTube videos. It doesn't work. Like, you have to be in front of somebody with the board and just try it. So
mm. And not only being in front of somebody, but also, I guess, just being self-taught, if that makes sense. Like, just, I guess, practicing on your own.
yeah, when I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm 100% self-taught, but I feel basically, of course, like I said, I had a mentor who taught me the technical skills, but in terms of like blending and vocal stems, like all of that I did myself. Like, I figured out how to do the plugins on my computer
Mm,
and I just start learning the little tips and tricks as you go. So, DJing is so easy to teach yourself. It's like easier than an instrument because it's essentially pressing buttons. So, it's definitely something you just got to go for.
mhm. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, DJ Chloe J. Thank you for this interview.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Of course, no. And like also your advice, in a way is also because like I think I've told you before, like a small kind of DJ controller mixer
Oh my
almost.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in a way it's like I'm kind of afraid that it's like it's not gonna be, I guess, what's the word? Won't really
Sufficient.
yeah, sufficient really perform well if I like actually want to do something like
It
a
will.
whole
I
set. Yeah.
promise you. I was DJing on baby boards until I got my first real gig. You can literally DJ on anything. You know, so, like some people, I've DJed on my computer. Like, just do it. Of course, once you get bigger, you're going to want better equipment just for better sound and like stuff.
Mhm.
But it does not matter. I had the smallest board you could ever have that cost $150 for 2 years. Like, I just upgraded, and my board now is still not official. Like, I probably have the second tier of lowest boards, and I've been doing everything. Like, I DJ'd Converse with it. So definitely just go for it. No board's too small, and like, don't be scared, especially on your own. Like, you're in your room, nobody's watching you, just like singing in the shower. Just do it.
Mm. I love what you said. No board is too small. But yeah,
It's not. No board is too small. You can use your phone if you wanted to.
true, true. But yeah, thank you again. Is there anything else you also want to add?
um no, free Palestine. And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. No, thank you. And again, also, it's very important to definitely uplift people during these times and to advocate for many things that are going on right now. So
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. And then also, again, just trying to open more of a space for female DJs just to come about and just be like, hey, you know, fuck it. If yeah, I don't know. But yeah.
No, this is so beautiful, and thank you so much. And I hope like we can do this again. Maybe like we'll do it like a visual one at some point, like a year
Yes.
check-in or something. Like this was so cool.
Yes. Oh, all right. I'm gonna actually talk to you more about a couple of things after this interview, but yes, definitely.
Okay, perfect. So you want me to stay on?
Um, no, we can end what we have right now, and I'll just text you. But definitely, like with the whole recording, I'll let you know like when I'm done with editing and stuff.
Okay, got you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Perfect.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Of course, this was so great. Thanks again.
Yes. Bye, Chloe.
Bye.